Hey guys, it's Kiwi here, and welcome to Not the Geek Report. Yeah, there really wasn't anything to talk about this week since, Comic Con happened and all the major announcements happened there, and it's already been reported to death already, so I decided we're going to try something a little different, and I'm going to do a little rant about Marvel, because there's a whole lot I want to say. I'm not going to be doing anything fancy with this video, nothing crazy with like edits, memes, or anything like that. I'm just going to play some basic Call of Duty gameplay. I might throw up some images and such for things I'm talking about. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. So this is going to be more of like a podcast type deal, Something you're going to listen to while you're doing the dishes or working out. Or if you're kind of weird like that, whenever you're cranking your hog, fucking jerking off. It'd be pretty fucking weird if you did that, but I'm not going to judge if you do it. I can't really, and I guess in a way I'm kind of flattered. Not really, though. Yeah, we're going to get off this topic now, and let's just get going. So get ready to kick it back and prepare for me to slur my words a fuck ton because I don't know how to speak, and let's get to it. So let's start out with the elephant in the room, RDJ as Doctor Doom, which all of you should know because you have social media, and you don't live under a rock. I'll be honest, I think it's interesting casting. I mean, I think RDJ can definitely do it. He's got the talent for it out of like all the Marvel actors you could kind of get returning into the MCU. I mean, I'm surprised he'd even be willing to do it, even though they must have paid him like a fuck ton of money. If I'd be doing this MCU shit for like, I guess he did it for about 10 or 11 years, I would have just been completely done. So I imagine they must have paid him like an absolute fuck ton of money just to do this. Like I'm thinking Dark Knight scene where Joker like slides down on all that cash and burns it. That's roughly the amount I'm thinking, but probably a hell of a lot more. I bet Kevin Feige was on his knees just begging right outside of his Robert's house, too. But anyway, yeah, it's a really interesting pick. He could probably do it. He's got the talent, but this is a real big sign of something else. Pure and utter desperation from Marvel. Like, let's be honest here. This was complete desperation, all in all. They have no clue what they're doing. They're fucking up so much recently with all these different shit products on Disney Plus and the movies and such, that they needed a big popular name from the MCU to come back and sort of try to drive up some hype. I mean, I bet RDJ, once again, he's going to do fine in Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, which is what he's supposed to be set on, though he's probably going to have a cameo and the post-credits scene for Fantastic Four. But it's sad. It's kind of honestly sad because this shows that the MCU is in complete and utter decline. And it doesn't really surprise me. I mean, right now we got Deadpool and Wolverine. It's made over $500 million at the box office right now. Probably going to end up making $1 billion in total. But we look at other stuff coming out. We got like what? Captain America 4. It's got a blown out budget. It's like what? Over 250 or 300 million. It's probably going to suck because you don't need to put that much money into a Captain America movie. And then what? In September we got the Agatha show. Agatha All Along that's supposed to be coming out. Like, who the fuck cares about that? Let's be honest. Like, raise your hand right now if that's what you cared about. I don't know why you'd be raising your hand. That'd be pretty weird, but you know what I mean. It's pointless. No one gives a shit. I mean, and that's just kind of been the case for everything that's been coming out ever since Endgame happened. We've got really big pieces of crap like Echo, She-Hulk, Eternals, Thor Love and Thunder, The Marvels, and a whole bunch of other shit I can't even think of right now because I don't like it. All this stuff, while maybe sometimes doing good critically and or commercially, the fans just aren't really dealing with this anymore. They want their popular characters. They don't want all these side characters that, frankly, no one's ever heard of. No one's heard of the Eternals. No one's heard of Echo. No one really cares about Jane Foster. I believe they call her Mighty Thor or some shit. Just Girl Thor. Not a problem with that, but no one cares about it. People want the big name heroes that the MCU's been built off of. And why would you go to theaters just to watch all this other stuff or go on Disney Plus to watch all these shows about people you don't care about? I mean, then we've had like sort of mid projects as well. We've had like Moon Knight, Shang-Chi. They've been all right, but they really just don't leave much of an impact, or they also don't have those big name brand heroes that makes you want to watch the show. I mean, I've watched both like Moon Knight and Shang-Chi. I liked them both, but they're not something I'm ever going to really rewatch. Shang-Chi had like 2 cool fight scenes. Acting was overall mid, cinematography mid. And then Moon Knight started out really cool and then kind of shit the bed towards the end. Which, I mean, better than most, but still, why would I really want that to like stay with me, and why would I ever want to rewatch it? And if like we're being honest here, the only good projects we've really had have been like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Spider-Man No Way Home, though that's more of like a Sony thing, Deadpool and Wolverine very recently, and I guess like Loki Season 1 and the first half of WandaVision, those were pretty good. But like overall, everything's just been dog shit. MCU Phase 4 and 5 have completely shit the bed, destroyed that foundation that was set up in the first 3 phases, and now no one really cares about it. I mean, let's see, in the future we got, obviously as I mentioned, Captain America 4, Agatha All Along. There's that Thunderbolts movie that's coming out, which, once again, who cares? Like, they got Red Guardian in that. They're going to have that really shitty Taskmaster they did in Black Widow. Bucky Barnes is supposed to be there. Like, that's fine, but, like, that's not something that makes me want to go to the theaters. Those aren't cool characters that I really, really like. Except maybe Bucky, but they're probably going to fuck him up in there. And then we got Fantastic Four in, like, 2025. That one might actually be good, other than Pedro Pascal being seriously miscast as Reed Richards, because he just doesn't give off that vibe. They just casted him because he's a big name, and that's it. It really only has like the biggest and best chance of being good because it's supposed to take place outside of the MCU instead of being a part of it, so it can be a lot more free with what it does, even though eventually it's all going to merge together with Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, which, you know, those are going to be something, I guess. I don't really know how to feel about either of them. I mean, obviously Doomsday is going to focus on Doctor Doom, RDJ, or if they try doing something really, I guess, interesting, they could make RDJ's Doctor Doom some sort of like fake Doctor Doom and then get a real one to show up. And then Secret Wars, they're probably going to do some sort of mix between like the 80s comic run and then the 2015 run. So, you know, they're probably going to do some major beats from Secret Wars, like Spider-Man getting the black suit, like that happened in the original 1980s run, if you didn't know. And then they'll try to do all those like different set pieces, mix in like multiverse shit. So obviously we'll see like Deadpool and Wolverine popping up again with the Avengers. We'll most likely end up seeing the other Spider-Man again, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, if Disney can get them. And just a whole bunch of other cameos and shit. And all this is just leading up into that soft reboot of the franchise, which Marvel desperately wants and needs to do. Especially since they finally got all the Fox properties together now. They can really expand their storytelling. You know, they can touch on untouched things they couldn't do before, such as Avengers vs. X-Men, or retell old stories that they kind of fumbled on, like redoing Ultron, or really any number of villains that fucking sucked in the MCU, which is most of them, if we're being honest. And then clearly recasting people, like getting a new Iron Man, Captain America, Wolverine, Deadpool, because all these guys are, you know, either out or they're getting really old, and they really need to get new people so they can sort of refresh everything. Unless, of course, Disney does decide to go with the joke they have in Deadpool and Wolverine and literally use Hugh Jackman till he's fucking 90, which wouldn't even surprise me in the slightest. Though, at the end of the day, is a reboot really going to save the MCU? I mean, we've had the MCU going on since 2008. It was obviously really cool up until Endgame, but now it's just tired. It's really, really tired, because who cares about it? Like, everything was overdone with the team-ups happening in, like, every single movie. They just relied on their Marvel formula, so everything just kind of felt the same. They have overblown budgets for things that really don't need these big budgets. They got TV spin-offs that you have to watch and understand the movies. Like, it's all just too much now. It's all just too much, and they need to stop. If they do try to reboot, they need to go a lot more small scale, not going into, like, these multi-$100 million productions. Like, they need to scale down to, like, below $100 million for all this stuff, as much as they can, because you're just blowing money on stupid shit that no one cares about. and then you gotta lower down your release schedule. We don't need 3 to 4 different Marvel projects every single year, like 2 movies and 2 TV shows. Just cut all that shit, and let's just go back to the basics. You can go back to telling Iron Man, Captain America, and then whenever you have those big team-up events, like the original Avengers was, or Infinity War, then you go all crazy, get everyone together, spend a fuck ton of money on it, and make it a real spectacle. They just can't keep going the way they've been going and just, doing that for every single movie. Everything's like this multiversal, cataclysmic effect. Don't be afraid to go small. Not everything has to be big. Not everything has to be the end of the world. Just go small and go easy. I mean, all in all, the MCU is just kind of like watching that old relative you have slowly falter into dementia. You remember them when you were younger, they were really great, but now they're just sort of a husk of themselves, and you just feel sad. Honest to God, you just feel sad, and you want it to be over. But yeah, all in all, that just about sums up my thoughts on how the MCU is and how kind of fucked up it is. But I kind of want to hear what you guys have to think. Do you sort of think the same way as I do? Everything's just sort of shitting the bed right now, and the reboot's the only thing they got? Or do you think that's still going fine? I mean, I think you're fucking crazy if you think it's still going fine, but hey, I can only find out one way. That's if you comment, and while you're doing that, why not like the video and subscribe if you liked it? I hope to do more freeform stuff like this instead of always relying on my scripts, so, if you like it, once again, like the video, tell me you want me to do more, and we can maybe do more discussions like this. I think that just about wraps it up, so you guys have a good one, and I'll see you on the next video.